Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I think this is one of the most asked questions in my other vlog on the salary of a nurse in the UK. So I'm gonna be vlogging and giving you information about on how to apply as a nurse in the UK. So without further ado, let's get this video started. The governing body for the nursing in the UK is called NMC. It's called the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and it regulates nurses and midwives in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. They also set standards for nurses and midwives to meet their working lives, and nurses and midwives must follow the code of conduct which states how they must work and behave. So first and foremost, I think una talagang requirements for you to become a nurse in the UK is like you have to be a graduate of nursing in the Philippines or on other parts of the country of the world. You have to have before you apply for that, you have to have at least a nursing license in any governing body sa Pilipinas, like with sa atin it's PRC, isn't it? So one of the requirements is for you to apply is you must be at least 12 months on full-time or part-time equivalent after qualifying as a nurse. So that's one of the requirements. And then you have to have a post-registration experience for the relevant field of practice that you're applying for. Like if you're applying for adult nursing or mental health nursing or child nursing, so you have to be like at least you've got like 12 months post experience after your qualification. And then post registration requirements: if applicant has worked as a nurse or midwife in other country or states, they're required, yung na-mention ko na nga kanina, you're supposed to be under a licensing authority or registration body. I'm gonna be discussing the specific requirements for nurses applying to join the register. So that's what I've mentioned earlier on. Applicants must have completed a program at post-secondary level leading to secondary registration as a general nurse. That's like what I mentioned earlier on. Tapos, you have to have at least 3 years length ng training and as a nurse, and then contain a minimum of 500 hours of clinical practice, which should be evidenced by the transcript dun sa transcript of from your college. That's one of them. So the program must have yung with your training, it should have included theoretical and practical instructions in general and specialist medicine, general and specialist surgery, childcare and pediatrics, maternity care, mental health and psychiatry, care of the elderly, tsaka yung community and primary care nursing. So hindi kayo pwedeng mag-apply for registration if you haven't met these requirements yet. In the application process, after you've submitted all your application to register sa NMC, there's another process, yung pag-apply to apply for a job in the UK. So first and foremost is yung eligibility. So the applicant must complete a self-assessment of their eligibility to apply prior to the beginning of the application process. They must have declared that they have met all of the minimum requirements, including good health and good character. Tapos dapat then you must confirm that you understand that you have to provide supporting evidence of these declarations during the assessment stage of the process. If an applicant confirms the declaration and cannot provide evidence at least at the assessment stage, the application would not be progress and the assessment cannot be fully refunded. So first off, part 1 of the test of competence is you have to, once you have passed the eligibility assessment, you have to be asked to sit for the first part of the test of competence. This is a computer-based test of theoretical practice-based knowledge. The test format will be a multiple choice and can be taken in test centers around the world. The applicants have 2 attempts at the test. If the applicant fails to achieve the requirements minimum score after both attempts, they must wait until 6 months in order to restart the application process. So yun, so you have to really, dapat talaga mag-aral ng mabuti for the first test of competence. Kasi you have to wait for 6 months pag bumagsak ka na for the second time. The test provider, ang test provider niya is Pearson VUE will administer their own test fee in agreement with NMC. Applicants will need to contact Pearson VUE directly to book and pay for their test. Ayun. And then the assessment would be, applicants would need to provide the following evidence in order for us to complete the assessment. They have to do an assessment: a valid passport, birth certificate, a qualification certificate being submitted as part of the application, registration certificate from each jurisdiction where the applicant has practiced or has been registered. So, syempre kung galing kang Pilipinas, you have to present your certificate na yung katibayan na graduate ka sa Pilipinas. If the applicant's country operates state registration, they'll need to have registered in each state where they practice. Ayun, as I've mentioned, you have to show that you're graduate of like a certain college or university in the Philippines. You've also been needing 2 employment reference confirming that the applicant's post-registration practice of at least 12 months, tapos their competence and their character. You have to have verification from a jurisdiction where the application process or where the applicant has been previously registered. So, yun nga, kailangan mo magpakita ng evidence na registered ka dun sa governing body. You need to also provide transcript of training for all relevant nursing programs completed by the applicant. You also have to have the calculated hours accompanied by the letter from the training institution with a key to how the credits translate to hours. And then, most of all, kailangan mo rin you have to have a good health declaration and from galing sa general practitioner or doctor or the occupational department, health department at the work of place. And then for every overseas country in which they have lived for more than 3 months, they will need to provide a police clearance. Ayan, kailangan rin ng police clearance before mag-apply, syempre. If they have lived in the UK for more than 3 months, they will have to need to provide us with a standard level of disclosure and barring service certificate. So, pag galing ka ng Pilipinas, kailangan mo ng police certificate. Pero pagka nandun ka na, nakatira ka na sa UK ng 3 months, you have to provide them with disclosure and barring. Parang ano rin yun, parang police clearance din, pero in England. So, yun. All of the relevant forms must required are available to download sa website once the applicant reaches the assessment stage, but not before. So, the applicant must send the relevant forms to the correct authorities to be completed and they must be posted back to NMC. They require the original forms that the referee or relevant body has completed. Uploads or copies of those forms cannot be accepted. All forms must be completed in full and be signed, stamped, and dated. Ayun. Tapos, once the evidence has been submitted and assessment officer will review the full application, to ensure that it meets the requirements for the registration. Providing all the documents are correct and criteria are met, the application will be progressed to the next stage. So, there's another stage, o diba? Ang hirap mag-apply, where further information is required from the applicant and provided separately, a full new assessment and decision will be conducted. This allows the complete application to be reassessed in its entirety to ensure that all documents are consistent. Timescales of applications vary, and some will take longer if the correct documents are not included in the initial application. So yun, that's the first bit, and then there's like the first process, which is yung test for the first bit, yung assessment test, and then the next stage would be test of competence. O yun, for the first part, yun nga yung you have to have like yung multiple exam questions to assess your theoretical. Ngayon, the next stage would be yung practical test naman. There's a test called OSCE, OSCE, which stands for Objective Structured Clinical Examination. Yun yung second part of the test. The test of competence will assess the applicant's clinical knowledge. So, yun nga yung sinabi ko sa inyo na OSCE. The test will be administered by one of our approved university test centers who will administer their own test fee in agreement with us. Applicants will need to contact the university directly to book and pay for their test. The OSCE will simulate a clinical environment and patient scenarios which registered nurse and midwives are likely to encounter when they assess, plan, implement, and evaluate care. The OSCE contains nursing or midwifery scenarios along with separate skill situations. So, may situational situational exam. Ayun, tapos you have to pass that. Pag hindi mo napasa yun, you're allowed to I think take it as of April 6, 2017. You're allowed to take it I think 3 attempts. So you have to like, kailangan mo talaga na mag-aral ng maaral kasi mahal yata yun eh. Mahal kasi when I applied, hindi ganun yung process, iba yung process. So mahal siya. I think you have to really study hard para hindi talaga masayang ang pang di ba, pang exam mo. And then, if the applicant is unsuccessful after their permitted attempts, the application will close. They will be required to submit a new application but will not be able to sit in the OSCE again for a minimum of 6 months. So, 6 months ulit, di ba, maghihintay ka pa? Grabe, no, nakakaloka. And then, there's gonna be like an ID check as well. So, a face-to-face ID check will take place on the OSCE location on the same day as the OSCE. Applicants will be required to bring all original documents that they have uploaded as supporting evidence for their application. If the applicants cannot provide the documents required, they will have to rebook an ID check at their London office before they can complete the last stage of the process and receive their registration number. So, yun pa guys, my gosh. And then, the final registration, once they've received the applicant has received the notification that it has been successful of the part of the test and the ID check has been done, they will be invited to complete their final declaration, o diba, ang haba ng process, and payment for registration online. Once both have been received, they will send the applicant their registration for PIN number. O yun pa lang yung PIN number, di ba? Nakakaloka. So yun, that's the process of registering as a nurse in the UK. So, hindi ka lang kailangan na registered nurse na Pilipinas and you're a part of a governing body. Kailangan mo rin ng 500 hours. O, I'm summarizing it all to you guys. Kailangan mo rin ng yung assessment. You have to be of good character. Kailangan mo ng evidence na nag-training ka talaga sa Pilipinas ng training, 'di ba? Tapos has to be including all the transcript, kailangan mo ng reference. Ang daming kailangan, 'di ba? Nakakaloka. And then you have to have 2 exams. Yung practical exams, yung theoretical exams, and then yung practical exams. Theoretical exams pala, you only allowed to take it twice. Sa practical exams, you have to take it 3 times. Pag bumagsak ka, wait ka na naman 6 months. So, yun guys. After nun, pag nakuha mo naman yung PIN number mo, pwede ka na mag-apply as a nurse. There's loads of website that's requiring nurses back in England. And there's also loads of recruitment agencies that's approved by POEA. And ayun, you could also apply there online. Tapos marami rin with me, I belong to University Hospitals Birmingham, so search nyo lang doon, then that's gonna be like job vacancies on that website, guys. So yun lang guys, I hope this video has been informative to you, and I hope you've learned on how to register as a nurse in the UK. Marami siyang process, guys. Ay, hindi ko pa pala siya na-mention. You have to be an IELTS passer as well. You have to, like, this reading, writing, speaking, tas may isa pa. So, you have to pass all of that kasi mahal din yun. So, yun guys. I hope you've learned from this vlog, and soon sa mga aspiring nurses here in the Philippines or other parts of the country, that's how you get the PIN numbers with NMC. And I hope that this video has been very informative to you guys, and if you have any more questions, feel free to put a comment down below. And if you like what you watch, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up and share it para people or other nurses would also be aware or have the knowledge kung paano mag-apply. Anyway, take care guys. Have a great day. Till next vlog. Bye!